Hello, good morning, students.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
All of you are fine, happy, healthy. Okay, students, so please keep your camera open, okay? Open up your cameras. All right. Okay, just wait for a while. Let all of your friends join so we can start. So you're having your books already with you, students? Books of science. Science and action. Okay. All right. So today we are going to learn on page number 108. Page number 108. All right, so today, our today's topic is light refraction through prism. Light refraction through a prism. So we already learned in this chapter about refractions, and now we are going to observe how the light refract through a prism. So you know about refraction already. So refraction is refraction. So refraction is the phenomena where light changes its movement. When light moves from one medium to another medium that has a different density. So the light changes its speed. So this is what we call refraction. And prism, you know about prism? Here you can see this is what we call prism. So prism is actually a transparent, it's a transparent optical element with flat surface, flat and polished surface that reflect light. Here you can see this is what we call prism. So actually it's a transparent and flat surface, okay? And actually what does it do? It reflect the light. So all right, so when light moves to a prism, it will always refract. Okay, so each light wavelength refract differently. When it gets out of the prism, it will refract again. As you can see here, when the light actually it come out of the incident ray from the light source, and wait, it goes through the prism. So actually what will happen? The rays you can see here, it will go differently. So when light moves through a prism, it will refract. Each light wavelength refracts differently when it gets out of the prism. So when light meet a prism with the base upward, here you can see when light meet the base, here is the base. Actually, when the base is upward, you will see the colors. As you can see here, the colors will be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple. This is how you are going to see the lights. All right. So when light meets a prism, it with the base upward, it will see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple in order. So if we turn the prism upside down, so when light meets a prism, when base downward, so you will see the color differently. Here you can see if we change the prism downward. Here you can see the prism is actually downward. So the colors will all change. It will actually appear purple, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So both you can see here, the colors will be always change. So why it is changing? Actually, when you flip the top and the base of the prism, the color of the light beam are also flipped. So if we change the prism from upside down or downward, we put it like upward. So the colors will be appear differently. Both you can see here, if we put it like that way, so we will find red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and purple. But if we change the base downward, so the color will also change. So the colors will be appear purple, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Why is it happen? It's happened because red light appeared through the thinner side of the prism, while purple light will appear through the thicker side. Here you can see here, why is it? Because the red light, here you can see the red light. So the red light, it will appear through the thinner. Here you can see the thinner part. All right. So a thinner part of the prism. So the red light, it will appear on top. And while we put it like a downward, so on the downward, purple light will appear through the thicker side of the prism. So this is how actually light refracts through a prism. Okay, so now our next topic is rainbow. So rainbows are a natural phenomena. All right, maybe you can see, maybe all of you already see a rainbow with all these 7 different colors appear while after rain. So rainbows are natural phenomena that occur because of the property of light. When light moves to a different media, such as water and air, rainbow may be seen. Normally, a rainbow will appear after rain at the opposite side of the sun. That is because after it has rained, sunlight will move through the mist or rain. So mist, what do we call mist? Mist is actually a cloud of tiny water, water droplets in the atmosphere. Like in the atmosphere, we having a tiny droplets of water. So when the sunlight will move through the mist or rain, so the rainbow will be appear. So mist and rain drop act as small prism. So the difference, both like the mist and rain, actually how it work like a small prism. The prism, as I already tell you, like a prism, actually it work like an optical element, right? So it actually change the colors, bring the colors, right? And then reflect out of the drop of water. Therefore, you can see 7 colors of light beam, which are purple, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So these are all 7 different colors of rainbow. Okay, students, you understand that? What are the rainbow? Rainbow is actually, rainbows are a natural phenomena. Okay, rainbows are a natural phenomena that occur because of the property of light. As we already learned, the light actually, when it moves to different medium, so we will find the colors, right? So when light moves to different media such as water, air, rainbow may be seen. So the light actually, when it moves through water or air, actually the rainbow will be appear. We will see the rainbow. Normally a rainbow will appear after rain. Most of the time, maybe you have seen when we having like a rain. So after rain, you will find the rainbow. All right. So that is actually because light moves to different media, right? Such as water and air. So after that, the rainbow will be appear. Normally, rainbow will appear after rain at the opposite side of the sun. That is because after it has rained, sunlight will move through the mist or rain. So mist are actually a cloud of tiny droplets, in the atmosphere. So mist and rain drops act as small prisms. So both mist and rain, how does it act? It actually acts like a prism. So light passes through the droplets of water and then reflect out of the droplet drop of the water. Therefore, you can see 7 colors. So 7 colors of the light beam, which are purple, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So these are the 7 different colors, what you will see in the rainbow. All right, students, you understand the rainbow, how the rainbow appear? All right, so here now we're having actually 2 different ways. A rainbow from in one of 2 ways, depending on how many times light is reflected inside a raindrop. So here actually you will find mostly 2 type of rainbows. One, primary rainbow. Second one, secondary rainbow. So both actually depend on the reflected inside raindrop. So number one, we have a primary rainbow form when light enter a drop of water. So it is reflected once within the drop, then reflected back out in the air. So what happened actually in the primary rainbow, the light actually, first of all, when the light come, right, it enter the drop of water. As I already tell you, mist we having in the atmosphere. So the tiny water droplets. So when the sunlight actually, it come and it enter the drops of water. So it will reflect. It is reflected once, one time it reflect. After that, then they reflect back in the air. So after reflecting out of the drop of water into the air, its color change. So the colors are all changed. So the color change into purple, outside purple, on the inside. So outside it will be actually red, inside it will be purple, right? So this is actually happen when the light actually come and it hit the drop of the water. So first it will appear inside the drop of water. After that, from the drop of the water, when it release out into the air, so the colors will be, its color change from red on the outside to purple and on the inside. So this is actually primary rainbow. Now second, we're having secondary rainbow. So secondary rainbow is formed when light enter a drop of water. It is refracted twice within the drop. Okay. What happened? Secondary rainbow form when light enter a drop of water, like we having the small droplets of water in the atmosphere. So when the light, that light enter that drop of water, it is refracted twice within the drop. Okay, then refracted back out into the air. The colors are the opposite way. The opposite way find change from red on the inside to purple on the outside. So this is what we call secondary rainbow. All right, students, you understand that? Primary rainbow and secondary rainbow. I repeat for you one more time. Primary rainbows form when light enter a drop of water, it is reflected once within the drop, then reflected back out to the air. Its colors change from red on the outside to purple the inside. Then in the secondary rainbow, a secondary rainbow form when light enters a drop of water, it's reflected 2 times. It's reflected actually twice. All right, within the drop, then reflected back out into the air. The colors are opposite way found and change from red on the inside to purple on the outside. So these are the 2 types of rainbows, primary rainbow and secondary rainbow. Apart from that, students, you can also make your own rainbow. Here you can see in the picture, here you can see how you are going to make your own rainbow. So what you have to do, you can create your own rainbow by pouring water into a foggy. First, stand outside and turn back to the sun. First of all, while you just stand outside and you're sorry, you stand outside and you have to turn your back to the sun. Okay, then spray water and observe the rainbow. Like for example, you are standing outside and you're having a spray, so you turn your back to the sun. All right, and you just spray the water, right? So when you spray the water, you will observe the rainbow. The rainbow will be appear. So this sort of experiment you can do by yourself. You can just use a normal sort of spray, right? Put it, fill it with the water, and then just stand back to the sun and just spray, just pouring water into a foggy first. All right. So what will happen? You will find a rainbow. So this is how you can create your own rainbow as well. So these are the 2 type of rainbows. First is primary rainbow. Second one is secondary rainbow. Okay, students, you can try this one. You can try to create your own rainbow and find the conclusion, and you can observe if the rainbow appear or not. All right, students, you understand that?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, I translate in Thai. เด็กๆคะที่ทีเชอร์เขาแนะนำนะคะตรงสีแดงๆอะค่ะเห็นไหมที่มันมีฟ็อกซี่อ่ะเป็นฟ็อกไอที่สเปรย์ฉีดน้ำทีเชอร์เขาบอกว่าเด็กๆสามารถทดลองนะเด็กๆออกไปกลางแดดนะคะแล้วลองฉีดสเปรย์ที่เป็นน้ำอ่ะเอาขวดสเปรย์อย่าลูกฉีดตรงกลางแดดนะแล้วหนูก็ดูซิว่ามันจะมีสายรุ้งไหมนะ
ครู
คะ
ครับ
ค่ะ
ผมเคยทำอยู่ครั้งหนึ่งตอนเสาร์อาทิตย์ครับ ตอนปิดเทอมอะครับ ผมทำไม่ได้สักทีครับ แต่พี่ผมทำได้ครับ
มันจะอยู่ที่การกระทบแสงกับละอองน้ำเหรอลูกหนูลองดูนะ ถ้าหนูมีเวลาว่างๆหนูลองออกไปกลางแดดแล้วก็ฉีดสเปรย์พ่นดูมันจะขึ้นเป็นสายรุ้งเลยนะคะโอเค teacher
Okay, you can try this one, students. Experiment by yourself. You will find the rainbow. Okay, you just remember, you just go outside and back to the sun, right? And then just spray. So you will find the colors. So the colors will be appear because when the light actually it hit the water, those small droplets of water. So after those lights actually when hit the droplets of water and the lights reflect out of those drops of water, so those colors will be appear. So those colors will be all 7 different colors. All right, now all right, now our next topic is mirage. So mirage. So what are the mirage? Actually, mirage is actually an image. It's actually an image produced by very hot air. Like when the air is when the outside the environment, it's very hot. So the hot air of something that seem to be far away, but does not really exist. Like for example, when the weather is very hot outside, outdoor, and you just look quite far. You stand on the roadside and you look quite far. So quite far, you will find in the air like a water. So actually there is no water in the air, right? Actually, there is no water in the air while you come close to that. So that is actually we call mirage. So when you drive a car, on a street on a Sunday, you may see the road. You may see that the road is covered with water. Actually, the road is not wet. We call this phenomenon a mirage. A mirage occurs when the air below has a higher temperature than the air above. So air below is less dense. This change how the light refracts through the different layer of air. So the air of the surface of the road will look like water. So this is actually mirage. Actually, it happened while it's too hot. All right. So why it's happening? Because a mirage occurs because the air below has higher temperature. The air like we having below the air, they're having a higher temperature than above the air. So because of that difference, so the air below is less dense. So the air actually below that one is less dense because of the higher temperature. This changes how the light refracts through the different layer of air. The air on the surface of the road will look like it is water. This is also, students, you can also observe by yourself. Mirage, whenever the weather is very hot, you just come out and you just look quite far. So while you look quite far in the air on the roadside, you will find like they're having a water. They're having like a water. But actually, while you come close to that, there will be no water. It won't be wet. So this is actually because of the temperature, right? So temperature below the air, it's hotter, and above the air is not that hot, right? So the air below less dense. Actually, the air it's below the one is less dense. So this is actually changes how the light reflect through the different layers of air. So the air on the surface of the road will look like it is a water, but actually there is no water. So this one you can also observe by yourself. Okay. All right, students. So now here we're having some of the learning activities. We're having some of these words. Actually, we have to classify the following items into different type of media. So we already learned in this chapter about different medium. So we're having like transparent medium, translucent medium, opaque medium. So transparent medium or those medium like which allowed the light to pass through so that the objects behind can be seen. Like any sort of medium, actually which allow the light, it can go through 100%. So behind those medium, we can see transparent. So those are actually transparent medium, and translucent mediums were those from which the light, it can go through, but not full. Some can go through, some won't go through. So those sort of medium, those are translucent medium. And opaque mediums were those medium from which actually the light, it can't pass through, it cannot pass through. So those are opaque mediums. So these are three different type of mediums. Now here we're having some of the different types of media. So what we have to do, we have to put them in the right medium. Okay, so number one, we're having like a cap, fish sauce, clear water, muddy water, handkerchief, clear bottle, air, chalk, concrete wall, clear plastic, ground glass, clear glass, thin paper, mirror, and table. So all of these different media we have to divide into, put it in the right spot. Okay, so first of all, who is going to tell me transparent medium among all these media? Which are the transparent mediums? Can anybody tell me, students? Just take a closer look. Clear water. Clear water, is it transparent or translucent or opaque? Students, can you please answer me? Clear water. So clear water, is it transparent medium, translucent medium, or opaque medium? Students, answer me, please. Don't worry if you don't be hesitative if your answer is wrong. You can just tell me. Clear water, is it transparent, translucent, or opaque?
Transparent medium.
Very good. Transparent, because the light actually it can pass through 100%. So that one is transparent. All right, how about the air? Air is transparent or translucent?
Transparent.
Transparent, very good. Okay, now among these, which are the translucent? Can anybody tell me one of that? Among all these medium, which one is translucent? Can you tell me one of them? Translucent medium, which one is translucent medium? Fish sauce. What do you think? Fish sauce is translucent or transparent?
Muddy water.
Translucent. All right, students. So now here, let me show you all of them. Okay, so here we're having clear water. Okay, clear water, clear bottle, air, clear glasses, clear plastic. These are all transparent medium. So from all these media, the light, it can pass through 100%. Okay, now fish sauce, muddy water, ground glass, thin paper, handkerchief. These are all translucent medium. So from these media, actually the light, it can pass through, but not 100%. Okay. Now, among these, cap, chalk, concrete wall, table, mirror, these are actually opaque medium. So all these 5 of the media, they are opaque medium. So we know, like from mirror, the light cannot pass through. Like for example, if we stand in front of the mirror, so the mirror actually, if we like put the light on the mirror, so the light will actually bounce back. It will reflect back. So the light cannot pass through from mirror. Similar like a table. So table is actually non-transparent. That's why we call that opaque medium. Similar like that, concrete wall, they are also opaque medium. And chalk and caps as well. So these are all actually opaque medium. So 5 of these are transparent medium. The rest of the 5, these are translucent medium and opaque medium. Okay, so now here we have to look to the what we have to do, look at the refraction rules, then choose the appropriate phase to fill in the gap. So here we're having the angles, right? We're having here, we're having like a different angles, right? So we have 5 of them. Each of them actually they're having different name. So first we're having like the reflection ray. Second one is the incident angle. Third, the normal line. Fourth, the incident ray. The fifth one is the reflection angle. So here we are going to look and we are going to name them in the correct blank space. Okay. So first of all, number 1, this one, as you can see here, number one is called, what do we call number 1? This angle, what do we call that? Can anyone answer me, students? We have to choose among all these 5 of them. Number 1 is called the light. Actually, the light come out of the light source, right? So what we call that? We call that the incident ray. Okay, here you can see this ray, what we call, it comes out of from the light source. Okay, so from the light source, the light come out. So this angle, what we call that? We call that incidence ray. Okay, after that, now number 2, what do we call this one? Number 2, this line, what do we call that? We call number 2 the line normal line. So the normal line, this is actually right in the center, like the ray come out of the light source and reflect. Okay, so this portion, the center line, what we call that? We call that the normal line. So after the normal line, number 3, what do we call this angle? Who is going to answer? Number 3. Number 1 line is incidence ray. The center line is normal line. Now, number 3, after reflection, number 3, what do we call this line? That one is reflection ray. Like the light come, right? So the light come from the incidence ray. So this ray, we call that incidence ray. Right in the center, this is what we call number 2, normal line. after hitting the surface and reflect. Okay, reflect with an angle. So this reflection, what we call that? We call that the reflection ray. Okay, now number 4, we having 2 angle. Okay, so the angle from the incidence ray and the normal line. So A, what do we call this one? Angle A is called it come out of the incidence ray. So what do we call, students?
The incident agent.
Very good. The incidence angle. So this one, A, we call that the incidence angle. Okay, now number 5. So number 5, B, what angle we call this one?
The reflection angle.
Very good. Reflection angle. So this is quite simple, students. The first, like from the source, the ray, it coming from the source, right? After hitting the surface and then reflect. So number 1 is comes out of the source. Number 3, it goes through after the reflection. So in between, this is we call that normal line. So number 1 is the incidence ray. Number 2 is the normal line. And number 3 is the reflection ray. So now when we're talking about the angles, so the angle from 1, in between 1 and 2, the normal line, A, we call this one the incidence angle. And while it reflects, okay, while the ray is reflected, so this ray we call that reflection ray. So reflection ray, so that's why the angle B, it will be reflection angle. Okay, all right, students. So this one, all of that you have to write down in your books. Okay, don't forget to write down. And next we having on page number 112, you having a picture, you have to color the shadow. Okay, students, you have to solve number 3 and number 4. Don't forget to color the shadows. Okay, all these part of the shadows you have to color in your book with the black color. Okay, so you have to color it. All right, you have to color the shadow in the black. And number 4, you have to answer also while the light from the flash after hitting the ball, what sort of a shape you will see. Either you will see a round, either rectangular, either triangular. So you have to color them also. And